A couple of brief points to share with you. Please put your questions in the Zoom chat along with your name and the outlet you represent. It's Sunday, October 5th, nearly 2 years since Hamas brutally invaded Israel and took Israeli citizens hostage. Last night, Prime Minister Netanyahu delivered an important message, saying Israel is on the verge of a major breakthrough, bringing back all 48 hostages, both alive and deceased, and putting an end to this devastating war. The goal is to ensure Hamas can never again threaten the state of Israel. Although the deal is not finalized, the Prime Minister is optimistic that by the holiday of Sukkot, he'll be able to announce a return of all 48 hostages, while IDF forces remain positioned inside Gaza, in the areas they currently control. Netanyahu has remained committed for 730 days to bringing the hostages home, never forgetting their suffering or the agony of their families. The hostages, taken from homes, vehicles, or a music festival, have endured unimaginable torment in captivity under Hamas, who have tortured and starved them. The Prime Minister is determined to rescue those alive and ensure a proper burial for those who were killed. This development follows plans for talks in Egypt, as the Prime Minister instructed Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer to finalize technical details for the hostage release, the top priority and first phase of the deal. The negotiating team departs tonight, with talks scheduled to begin tomorrow. These are strictly technical discussions, as Israel's government has already approved the first phase, the simultaneous release of all 48 hostages. According to President Trump, Hamas has agreed to these terms. Israel's negotiators will now meet in Egypt to finalize the specific arrangements. The Prime Minister, in coordination with the Trump administration, has made it clear that the talks will be limited to just a few days, with zero tolerance for stalling by Hamas. Once all details are finalized, Israel will stand by a 72-hour deadline and will be ready immediately to receive the hostages. Netanyahu remains in regular contact with President Trump, who emphasized that Hamas must act swiftly or face serious consequences. The relationship between Netanyahu and Trump is historic and unprecedented, working together toward long-term peace in the Middle East. Due to strong military and diplomatic pressure, especially in Gaza City, Hamas has been forced to agree to this deal. The plan will unfold in 2 stages. First, the release of all hostages and partial redeployment of IDF forces. And second, the disarmament and demilitarization of Hamas, either through diplomatic means as outlined in the Trump plan, or by Israeli military action if necessary. Netanyahu has stated clearly, Hamas will not have a future in Gaza, and Israel will not tolerate any threat to its security, whether achieved the easy way or the hard way. This goal will be accomplished. At the conclusion of the briefing, journalists were invited to submit their questions via chat. When asked if Israel would halt operations while Hamas renegotiates, the spokesperson clarified that there is no ceasefire in place, only a temporary halt in certain bombings. IDF forces retain the right to defend themselves if attacked. In response to a question about confidence that Hamas will release all hostages within 72 hours, it was stressed that the first and absolute priority is the release of all 48 hostages at once, with no exceptions. When asked about IDF withdrawal, it was explained that these specifics will be determined during the upcoming Egypt talks. Sensitive, technical discussions focus entirely on ensuring the safe release of the hostages. Finally, regarding the 72-hour deadline, it begins once Hamas formally accepts the deal. Netanyahu reiterated that there will be no tolerance for delays or manipulation by Hamas. The goal remains clear: bring all 48 hostages home as quickly as possible.